Oh, hello boys and girls, and welcome to another Tuesday Club Online. Stay tuned for some singing, some games, and the last part of our stories about the wonderful things that God did through the prophet Elisha.
Good evening, Tuesday Club. Welcome back to another week. I hope you're ready for some singing. We are going to start warming ourselves up by doing some jigs for Are You Serving Captain Jesus? I hope you can remember the actions. We've got climb the rigging, aye aye captain, and we climb. Swab the decks, aye aye captain. Row the longboat, aye aye captain, and we row. And then dance the hornpipe now. So if you've got someone next to you, you can go round in a circle and dance. There we go. They're the actions. Let's give it a go, shall we? Are you serving Captain Jesus? He's the master of the wind and waves. There's a yo-ho-ho, no other name by which you can be saved. Through scurvy, sharp and shipwreck, in every storm and strife, sail on with Captain Jesus as the treasure of your life. Get ready. Climb the rigging, aye aye captain. Swab the decks, aye aye captain. Row the longboat, aye aye captain. And dance the hornpipe now. Heave away, haul away. Heave away, haul away. Land ho. Land ho. Land ho. Well done. Good job, Tuesday Club. Okay, now we're going to do one that I think all of you will know. Alleluia, Alleluia. More moving, so I think we'll split you up virtually from where you are at home. So if you're on this side of the room, we will do the Alleluias, and you will start by standing up. And if you're on this side of the room, if you start crouching down, get ready to stand for when we do Let's Praise the Lord. And we'll see how fast you can go as well. Maybe we'll speed it up a little bit. Let's start slowly though. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Very good, Tuesday Club. I reckon you can do even faster. I've seen you do it before. Easy. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Nice. Question is, can we do it even faster? Yeah, let's give it a go. Alleluia, stay on this side, you're up again, and if you're Let's Praise the Lord, stay down. Okay. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. Alleluia. Let's praise the Lord. I was tired even singing that and I wasn't moving, so I hope you're doing okay. For our last one, we'll do Jesus is the Mighty, Mighty King. And listen out, because maybe you'll hear your name. Let's sing it all together. Jesus is the mighty, mighty King. Jesus is the mighty, mighty King. Proclaim him the boss of everything, 'cause Jesus is the mighty, mighty King. Billy is not the boss, Molly is not the boss, yourselves down and have a good rest of Tuesday Club.
Hi Tuesday Club, we're going to play a game called Stop the Bus, and the game is based on letters of the alphabet and on different categories. So we're going to think of some categories and then we're going to see whether we can stop the bus. I'll tell you, so we might have to choose a girl's name beginning with something, or let's have a boy's name. Let's have some sort of food, and let's try and think of a place beginning with our particular letter, and let's see if we can think of some sort of transport. Okay, so that'll make it a bit more difficult. Maybe we'll just do the 5 for today. If you were playing it, you can play it again. I think some of you might have this sheet as well. So in order to start the game, we go through saying the alphabet, and then you have to shout stop, and when I hear you shouting stop, I'll pick that letter. Then say we stopped on S, I'd then have to think of some things beginning with S. So I might have to think of, I don't know, Susan and Sean and spaghetti and a place and some transport. And then when the timer finishes, we all have to look. Now, normally when you play this game, if you play it at home, if somebody else has got the same one as you, that means you score less. But we won't know what each other's got because we're all in our different houses. So today, for today's game, if you get the same as me, you get an extra point. Okay, so if you manage to think of one, you get a point. But if you manage to think of one and we happen to get the same one, then you'll get double points for that, and we'll see how we do with our score. Now, I don't want you looking at my piece of paper because I'm going to do it secretly over here. So I'm going to set you the timer here, and then we'll start it and we'll watch the Christmas trees grow, and you can think of lots of ideas. We've got 30 seconds and then we'll come back together again. So let's go along the alphabet. I want to hear you shout stop. Okay, here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Stop! So H, okay, ready? All our things have got to start with H. Okay, you can see the 5 different things. Ready, go. I hope you're writing down some good ideas. Stop! Okay. So I managed to think of 4 out of the 5 ideas. How did you get on? It went really quickly, didn't it? So I wonder, has anyone else got Harriet for a girl's name? You did, well done. You get double points, if not 1 point. Okay, boy's name, I went for Henry. Food, horseradish, you know, like horseradish sauce. Oh, I couldn't think of a place beginning with H. Maybe you did. And I had my transport was horse and cart. So I would score 1, 2, 3, 4 because I don't know how you're doing. So my score for that round would be 4 points. Okay, should we have another go? We'll have another go and we'll pick a different letter this time. So let's go for... No, you've got to be quicker at shouting stop this time. I got all the way through the alphabet. Okay, so off we go. Let's choose our letter. Stop already, I've only got to B. Okay, so our letter is B. B before, let's start it. Before... Oh, stop. I just thought of an idea as it said stop, so I couldn't write down my Brussels sprouts idea. But here are my ideas for B. I've got Belinda for a girl and Barry for a boy. Couldn't think of my Brussels sprouts in time, so I couldn't write those down. There's a place called Birmingham, and my transport was a bus. How did you get on with that round? Some of you might have got double points. If you've got bus, that you can give yourself an extra point. Okay, so I've got 4 points for that round. Okay, I expect you're writing on the sheet. You'll just have to squeeze your answers for each round into the other sheet, into the other spaces. Okay, shall we do one more round? I'm going to really try and get my I'm going to see whether I can get all of them in 30 seconds. Or doesn't know 30 seconds goes so quickly, and then we have to stop the bus. Right, okay. So let's choose a letter. I think the letter, let's have a look. I'm going to choose A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, N, O, P. P. P's the letter. Okay, P up here. Ready, start. Oh, stop. The Christmas trees have finished growing and they're starting to wave. So you have to stop now. Okay, right. Let's have a look. How did you do with this one? Okay, so my things that I thought of were Penny for a girl's name, Philip for a boy's name, popcorn for food, Paris for the place, and a plane. So I managed to get all 5. I wonder if any of yours match my ones. I have to use my quick writing. Penny, Philip, popcorn, Paris or plane. Did you get any of those? So I can only score 5 for that round because I haven't got any doubles, but I think some of you might have some doubles with mine. Brilliant. Okay, so then you could score up each time you do a round, you could score it up, and you've got the rounds at the bottom here. So so far we've done rounds 1, 2 and 3. But if you carry on to the end of the game, you can do 4 and 5, and then you have a grand total. So I hope you enjoy playing that game, and you should be able to find something like that, or just draw out, have a scrap piece of paper with those categories written on them. Well, I hope you enjoyed Stop the Bus. I'm sure some of you have played it before, and we're on to the next thing. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.
There was once a king called Ben-Hadad of the country of Syria, and he wanted to conquer the nation of Israel. So he called his entire army together, and they marched on Israel's capital city Samaria and attacked. They kept up their attack until there was nothing left to eat in the city. In fact, a donkey's head cost about 2 pounds of silver. And a small bag of pigeon droppings cost about 2 ounces of silver. The people ate whatever they could find. One day, as the king of Israel was walking along the top of the city wall, a woman shouted to him, "Please, your majesty, help me." "Oh, let the Lord help you," the king said. "Do you think I have grain or wine to give you?" Then he asked, "What's the matter anyway?" The woman answered, "Another woman and I were so hungry that we agreed to eat our sons. She said if we ate my son one day, we could eat hers the next. So yesterday we cooked my son and ate him. But today, when I went to her house to eat her son, she had hidden him." This made the king very sad and angry, and so he tore his clothes, and since he was on top of the city wall, everyone saw it. "Who can I blame for this?" he thought. I pray that God will punish me terribly if Elisha still has a head on his shoulders by this time tomorrow. It's his fault. He's the man of God. He got us in this mess." And so he sent a message to Elisha. Elisha was home at the time, and the important leaders of Israel were meeting with him. Even before the king's messenger arrived, Elisha told the leaders, "That murderer is sending someone to cut off my head. When you see him coming, shut the door and don't let him in. I'm sure the king himself will be right behind him." And the king was. Before Elisha finished talking, the king came along and said, "The Lord has made these terrible things happen to us. Why should I think he will help us now?" Elisha answered, "I've a message for you. The Lord promises that tomorrow, here in Samaria, you will be able to buy a large sack of flour and 2 large sacks of barley for almost nothing." The chief officer of the king's army, who was there with the king, said, "I don't believe it. Even if the Lord sent a massive rainstorm, we couldn't grow enough grain to have that cheap by tomorrow. That's ridiculous." "Oh," Elisha said to the army officer, "you will see it happen, but you won't get to eat any of the food." Meanwhile, outside the city, there were 4 men with a horrible skin disease. They said to each other, "Why are we just waiting here to die? There's nothing for us to eat in the city. And so we'd starve if we went inside, but if we stay here, we'll die for sure. Let's sneak over to the Syrian army camp and surrender. They might kill us, but they might just let us go." So that evening, the 4 men left and went to the Syrian camp. As they walked towards the camp, the Lord caused the Syrian army to hear what sounded like the roar of a huge cavalry. The soldiers said to each other, "Listen, the king of Israel must have hired Hittite and Egyptian troops to attack us. We're doomed. Let's get out of here." So they ran out of their camp that night, leaving their tents and horses and donkeys just lying around. When the 4 men with the skin disease reached the edge of the Syrian camp, no one was there. They walked into one of the tents, where they found food and clothes and gold and silver, and so they ate and drank as much as they liked, before carrying off the clothes and the treasure and hiding it away for later. Then they walked into another tent, and there was more stuff, so they took that and hid that as well. But after a while, they said to each other, "This isn't right. Today is a day to celebrate, and we haven't told anyone what's happened. We need to go back to the city and let the people know. Let's go to the king's palace right now and tell them the good news." They went back to Samaria and shouted up to the guards at the gate, "We've just come from the Syrian army camp, and all the soldiers have gone. The tents are empty, and the horses and donkeys are just sitting there tied up. We didn't see or hear anybody." The guards reported the news to the king's palace. The king got out of bed and said to his officers, I don't believe it. I know what these Syrians are doing. They know we're starving, you see, so they're hiding, hoping that we will go out to look for food in their camp, and then bam, they'll come and they'll capture us and take over the city." But one of his officials replied, "King, we do have a few horses left. Why don't we let some of the men take maybe 5 of the horses and just ride out to the Syrian camp to see what's happening? We're all going to die of starvation anyway if we just stay in the city, so let's check this out. Maybe those men at the gates are right." So the king commanded the men to find out what was going on. The men rode as far as the Jordan River. All along the way, they saw clothes and equipment that the Syrians had thrown away as they were escaping. They went back to the king and told him what they had seen. As soon as the people in the city heard that the Syrian camp was really empty, they rushed out of the city to carry off what was left. They took so much that a large sack of flour and 2 large sacks of barley sold for almost nothing just as the Lord had promised and Elisha had said. The king of Israel had put his chief officer in charge of the gate, but he died when the people trampled him as they rushed out of the city. This was the same officer who had refused to believe Elisha when he had said that God would provide food for them. So Elisha had warned him that he would see the food provided, but he wouldn't get to eat any of it. And that's exactly what happened. The Bible is full of stories like this one to help us see that God is always in control. Even when things look impossible, nothing is impossible for him. So the best thing we can do is trust him like Elisha did, and not scoff at him like the king's army officer. I hope this story will help you remember you can trust in God even when times are hard.
Hi everyone, time for another Scavenger Hunt challenge. And it's the usual rules, I give you 1 minute to go and find as many objects as you can of a certain type. And then come back with them if you can. If they're too big to bring back or something that doesn't move, that's okay. Just remember what you found and it'll still count, okay? So I was thinking, what kind of objects can we look for this time? And I've been receiving my first Christmas cards and things like that recently, and I thought, the colours of Christmas, often things are red or green to do with Christmas. They seem to be like the favourite colours at Christmas time, don't they? Well, we've already had one Scavenger Hunt when we looked for things that are red. So I thought this time we would look for things which are green. Things which are green. Go! 30 seconds. Twenty seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, stop, stop! Time to come back now. Finish looking for things. Come back here. Okay, did you manage to find some green things? I have. And let me show you what are some of the things I found. I've got my plant. I've got a green plant here. That's very green, isn't it? And what else have I got? I've got my snake. Yeah, my green snake there. And I've got this is my recycling bag that I use to take things to the recycling bin in. Yeah, when I take things. And another thing I found. This is my first aid kit that I use when I go on country walks and things like that. Yeah. And I was looking for something else because I know I've got a green jumper somewhere, but I can't find it. Anyway, I did manage to find 4 things, and so that's better than nothing, isn't it, I suppose? Did you manage to find more than me? Okay. Well, anyway, it was fun, wasn't it? And we'll do it again another time, maybe. But I think our time's up now for Tuesday Club. So from everyone here at Tuesday Club, it's goodbye. Bye-bye.